Good morning. Hey, folks. Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com. Beautiful day today. Going to talk to you a little bit about financial moves and maneuvers that you may or may not be making. And I'm going to about one of the financial moves I just made this past weekend at my local bank. Now, it's not going to be in line with some of the big powerhouse financial moves that, wealthy people and a lot of people who claim to have the money will tell you, oh, no, you should put this here. You should put this in the market. You should put this in other places. Well, I'm well invested. So I have money in other places. But what you have to look at is I'm a father in a family of 5. So when you are setting up your finances to raise a family, now I'm not talking about single people, but it is something that once a single person has a child or children, you will need to start to kind of formulate and create some kind of formulaic equations on how you're going to work this out. Whether you're going to be married, you're divorced, baby daddy, whatever else, it is incumbent upon the man, if you claim to be a leader, if you claim to be a father, to lay out financial framework for your children. And that's not only bequeathing or leaving wealth or monies or inheritances, but also, like I've said before, teaching them the know-how on how to invest, at least using your formula, learning to do your math. Now, you would think you would fucking move over into your lane, the whole fucking lane here, lady. It doesn't matter who's on the road because she's on the road. I swear, every morning I do these videos, it's always someone who drives without the wherewithal to know that they're not the only fucking person on the road. I mean, Jesus, man. Where I'm driving it, there's a tractor trailer parked, they're in the right lane and they're parked because obviously there's storefronts that are right off the main road. And the tractor trailer is taking up that right lane. So the left lane I am in is the only lane you can be in. Now, the car is slightly in front of me, slightly. And they're already veering over into my side to try to get over without checking to see if there's another car in the lane already, which means I don't have to get over or slow down or speed up. They have to slow down to be able to get over into my lane. It is not, I don't understand this with people driving nowadays. It's like whenever you need to make a turn or you need to get into a lane, all traffic fucking stops and your priority now, forget who has right of way. I don't even know if they teach that anymore. Lord help us all. See, right now, look at this. I'm 3 minutes into the video and my blood pressure's already up. Already up. Any which way, let's press on. Financial framework. Over the weekend, now I'm going to get in a little bit about my finances, and I'm going to talk to you all about just where I'm coming from. It's easy to talk about big money when you don't have it. It's easy to talk about where you should put money when you do have it and other people don't. The thing is, you have to analyze your finances and see where you lie at on this financial pyramid or hierarchy to make sure that the financial advice that you're getting or the financial moves that you're going to make are in line with your current financial status. It is so important to know that. Now, here we go. Now, car's getting over to right. Same. Okay, now you learn your lesson, huh? Okay, good. You have to understand where you are on the financial ladder. And that's not a bad thing to be able to understand that. I have been a long time ago in my early 20s when I was young, had hair, muscles out the wazoo, abs, all of that stuff. I had physical appeal, but I had poor financial status. I was not financially, not savvy, knowledgeable to the way I am now. I didn't have financial maturity. When I say financial maturity, I mean the ability to look at your finances and not react and make emotional decisions. not be able to look at the market and say, okay, hey, I got to pull out money right now. The fact that you can lose money, it doesn't emotionally move you, because your ability to make money is what you operate on. You operate with a sense of knowing that your ability to create money is very, it out measures it's exponentially more aggressive than your ability to lose 8% of your money. And you're always going to lose money in some way, shape, form, or how. So when you are engaging into, you want to be in a relationship, you want to be in a marriage, you want to have children, you want to buy a house, even if you're buying a house for yourself, you still have to have some financial framework set in place, because you will have, moving from an apartment to a home, you will have a different level of transitioning, meaning incoming expenses that will now be upon you, that you are no longer, that you were no previously not required to account for. So let me run that back. So when you're going to buy a home, you now transition into liabilities, responsibilities, expenditures that you previously did not have to account for in your budget. Meaning you didn't have to account for things like property taxes. You did not have to account for things such as homeowners insurance. You didn't have to account for things such as, heating costs on a greater square footage. You didn't have to account for things like doing your lawn. Not only doing your lawn, maintaining the lawn, updating the lawn, upgrading a kitchen, upkeeping things, maintenance when things get broken. Hell, you didn't even have to think about upgrading your blinds if they get broken, right? I mean, anything goes wrong, you're on the hook for financially. And that's something that you have to consider. That now is a new part of your revolving financial expenditures that you have to be ready for at any time. Not only that, there is an unknown maintenance cost that always has a cyclical time, such as a roof needing to be fixed, leaks in the roof, like out here and out in the East Coast that we didn't have to deal with in the West Coast, is freezing temperatures causing your pipes to burst. The water pipes that go into your actual yard or into your basement, I've had neighbors who their pipes have frozen and the pipes have bursted in the wintertime. Something that you don't have to think about when you live in the Southwest or California, places I previously lived before. Not only that, the cost of everything that we listed out will continue to increase. Your utility costs will keep on increasing. The cost to maintain, you want to do an update to the house, anything, kitchen needs to be updated. Jesus, Mary, just freaking lame. The cost to upgrade a kitchen, the cost to, update cabinets, these things will happen at some point. You have children, your children will get older, their costs will keep updating and become more expensive. So again, when I'm saying this to you, is that your costs will keep on increasing and you have to account for that. So that means that your income, whether it be from a W-2 or you're self-employed, you're 1099, you have to understand that your income velocity, which I've talked about in other videos, your ability to generate income beyond your actual physical productivity. What does that mean? That means that your ability to make money outside of you clocking in, clocking out now becomes paramount. And the only reason why we have a poor class of people, or middle class, lower middle class, or any level that you could create a disparity or a hierarchy, is because people haven't figured that equation out. They haven't figured out how to generate money beyond clocking in and clocking out. And you say, well, Phil, you're going into work now. Yes, but I have different revenue streams. I have my land business. I have the insurance, which I still do sell insurance. If you need any life insurance, please let me know, reach out. I definitely can help with that. And it's anywhere in the United States. I have insurance, I have book sales, and then I have my regular W-2. That's 4 streams of income. Three of which, so you look at it, out of the four streams, only 25% of them do I actually have to rely on. It's for my physical effort. I have 75% of my other income coming. Oh, and obviously investments, because I do private investing. And then also I do private lending as well. I actually am a private lender. So that's 6 streams of income. So now when you look at that, I'm under 20% of my income relying on a W-2. Under 20%. So the more you can start seeing a good picture now, right? Yeah, exactly. The more that you're able to create more streams of income. This is why it's so important. You no longer are reliant upon your base income to fund your life when your expenses start to exceed your expenses start to far exceed the increasing costs. We're not talking about the cost itself. We're talking about the increasing cost. If you look at how much everything costs you right now, the amount that it goes up every year is something people don't talk about. And I've said this before in other videos. People talk about, oh, I own a home, this, and that. How much do you spend on your home per year? Probably people never talk about. What is the cost of owning a home? What is your yearly, monthly expenses on your home outside of utilities and your mortgage? And people can never give you that answer. They can't tell you how much the lawnmower costs, the edgers, or if you pay a lawn service. That goes into your expenses on the cost to own a home. Yeah, you sell for the equity, but how much money have you spent? HOA fees, how much money have you spent on owning the home? You've had to change a light bulb, correct? Yeah, that's the cost of ownership. Let me turn this up a little bit because I think my camera volume is down. There we go. That's the cost of ownership. And people don't equate or factor that in. You got kids, you have a home, great. Now you got to buy another car because your daughter goes to drive, your son's going to drive. Again, these costs keep going up. What is the cost when you started to the cost now? How much have your expenses gone up? And people don't factor that in now, which is why you need a fundamental financial framework. You need to start building up streams of income very young and very early. So you have streams of income and you have income coming in. You have a savings account, checking and savings account. One of the things that I did is I noticed that when I'm looking at my savings account, excuse me, is in my savings account, most people have a checking and savings account. And when you start having enough money saved, because you do want to have money stocked away in your savings account, but you want to have that money working for you. A lot of people do not have money that is working for them, making them money. They just have $1 that's sitting in there and the bank is giving you, like, I have Chase Bank, and they give you like 0.2% interest on that savings account, which really ain't a whole lot of money. It's not. Even though interest rates are much higher, even though you could do high yield savings account, you could move money around to try to get the best interest, but I'm talking about money that I am not utilizing. I don't have any need for it right now. It's just sitting in my savings account. And the problem with moving money along, like that is you got to take it out of account. You got to have enough to satisfy the account requirements. Like my savings account in Chase, you have to have a certain amount of account balances and you got to maintain that. Now, if you don't have multiple streams of income, you're not going to be able to meet these thresholds. Like in a business account, you got to have like $5,000 in your checking account, $5,000 in your savings account, and you got to keep that or they start hitting you with fees. Most people don't talk about that, which means that you got to have capital. You cannot thrive on a debt-based business because you're going to get chipped away at. Excuse me. I've had bad allergies the past few days. It's been a murder for me just trying to keep myself from having asthma attacks daily. You have to be able to meet those thresholds. Your checking and savings account, you can't go under a certain balance because they'll start hitting you with fees. So sometimes if you don't have enough money, when I say enough money, to be able to move around and still keep money in these accounts, you might look at something like a CD. a bank CD like I got with Chase Bank. I just moved money, about 15K, into a CD for 3 months. The interest rate is 4.16. It computes daily, compounds daily, which means I'm getting daily interest. And it's a 3 month versus a 6 or 9 months. And they actually do have higher rates depending on your level of deposit. And the reason why I did that is that this money's in the savings account sitting there, and I have money left over, which I did not move over because I don't want to empty out my savings account completely. I have a family, so if we need anything, we need to move in a hurry. If anything happens, I need to be able to be liquid. But at the same time, it helps to not having money just sit in your account that is not working for you. So the other thing you can do to start creating a source of income is to take some money aside and use that to start gaining interest. Now, you could do that in a high yield savings account. I've talked to some people about that, some of my friends about that, looking for high yield savings account. Do your research online. Find the best ones for you. But again, it is important to start taking some money and putting it aside to actively earn interest. Yes, you could put it into the market, but you really want to be diversified and have money spread out in different places. And a CD is one of them when the interest rates are high enough. Now, obviously, when the interest rates are lower, you want to look for other vehicles and you might look at the market for that. But right now, where the interest rates are higher, you want to take advantage of your bank's own interest rates, and it doesn't cost you anything. I literally went into my bank, and it took me about 20 minutes to do this. If you go into your bank and have a relationship with your bank, it should be a little bit more seamless than that. I mean, there is no transfer fees, at least for my bank, because it's still all within one account. It's still within your Chase account. And I mean, literally, it was just that easy. So instead of have 15, 20, 30 grand just sitting in the bank, not earning interest, yes, you could have a high yield savings account. But again, those rates might be offered to only online banks and not an actual physical bank location, a bank that you can walk into. So the last thing, some things you should know about it is that with the CD, you're locked in. You are locked in for however many months that you lock away that money. I think 3 months is a great time to start because one, it teaches you to just put that money away and not think about it. Now, it does auto renew. You have that option, but if you want to pull that money back into your savings account, you can. You can take that money but you have to do it at the 3-month mark. You have 10 days of a grace period to say, okay, I want to move that money or I want to reinvest. So if the rates are lower and you find a better vehicle, you want to move the money over somewhere else, then you should probably do that. You have a 10-day grace period, which would mean 3 months from today, I have 10 days, at the 3-month mark, 10 days to be able to say, okay, I'm going to move that money over here or I'm going to keep it and reinvest it in that CD. But you got 10 days after that date to make that decision. One of the things you cannot do, which is why it's great if you have a financial foundation laid out. You cannot take that money out the 3 months and the 29th day. You will lose all the interest you earn. All of it. You cannot take it out at the 2-month, 29th day and the 23rd hour and 59th minute. You can't take it out. You literally have to wait until you eclipse and pass the 3-month mark to be able to do anything and not incur any loss of interest, which teaches you some financial discipline. And it's a great way to start. And you might say, well, Phil, you just learned about this. No, I knew about this all along. The whole point is that I have money that I can invest, that I don't have to worry about losing playing with the market. I mean, right now, the market's so volatile over where you're making investments, you're losing money. If you're worried about that, then the safest place for you to put that is in a CD where you can lock in the rate and not have to worry about whether you're going to lose money or gain money or lose money as a whole. You could take $10,000, $15,000 and say, okay, I'm going to put it right here, and I know I'm not going to lose money. I'm going to gain money. If that is your investment strategy, and that's what I needed, which is why it makes it a really strong and super smart thing that I did. Now, when you do that, as a father, it's time to go out and educate. The first person you educate is your wife or your spouse. If you're a woman, then your husband. And you sit down and talk about that. And it's funny because when I did that, my wife's like, it's funny you mentioned that. Our daughter has a couple $100 saved because of her birthday money. She's a great saver. My son is a spender. He spends it before he gets it. But we're teaching him financial discipline because we see the habits. My wife's a great saver. I'm a good saver, but I make more money. So for me, saving's not the same thing. I like my money to work for me. My wife and I have different philosophies on what savings is. And again, she can save, but she doesn't earn on that money. And that's a great thing. It's no shot to my wife. But again, when you can make your money work for you, you can make savings and kind of put a battery in its back. And that's what we're talking about. Not just saving money, but making money while you sleep, making your dollars start working for you. So again, you can create less of your hours in your life needing to be traded for dollars. You don't have to always look at, well, I don't have a stream of income because all I do is just work and that's it. You want to make sure that after a while, you might be able to say, hey, I'm earning enough interest. Now, at some point, my goal to figure this out is that I want to be able to make enough interest where I can now take my original investment money and pull that out and keep that same money. Let's say the 15,000, I get to the point where I make 15,000 in interest. I pull out the original 15 and now now it's only interest that is the base investment. And you keep rolling that over and siphoning away that $15,000. You keep doing that original investment, your number may be different. The interest rate on CDs are based upon your minimum deposit. Like I think they have 4.75% for a minimum deposit of $100,000. And the 3-month actually is the best interest rate on a CD. But again, in my 20s, I did not have the financial discipline. More than likely in my 20s, I would have probably taken that money out and lost all interest. Because one of the things you have to have some maturity in understanding your finances. And even with guidance from a person over top of you, such as a parent, a financial advisor, or someone else, sometimes young people they're still immature. They need time to mature into being an adult, which is why in your 40s, you kind of get grounded into who you are and what you're about, because you've been in your 20s, you had enough of the I'm partying. In your 30s, you're starting to get a family. And in your 40s, you start to kind of realize that you're at the midway point here and your kids are getting old enough where you start understanding that, hey, people are about to become adults too. I'm really no longer a child at all. I'm farther away from my childhood and I'm closer away to being an elderly person. You start really starting to hit that starts to hit home with you. So when I'm saying this, I'm telling you all that it's something to try out and see how it works for you. And again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm letting you know what my financial moves are being. And you got to get up to the point where you can be able to generate incomes. And it happens slowly. You got to give yourself time to work these things out and let them play out. And again, and I think in the end, if you stay on this, you will find out that it will work for you. But you got to start looking at how to get the money that you make. Just go out there and work just like you do. Every dollar is a soldier for you, and you got to go and put it to work. You got to make it go out there and come back and hunt and bring you back another dollar. And you got to put your money to work. You can't just let your money sit into an account and say, I'm saving, I've got 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000, great. But again, you need to make that money work for you, because again, you have these other forces looking to siphon away your money's power. I'll give you the greatest example. It's like Superman. He's super strong, impervious and everything. When he gets kryptonite, he's weak. Now, people don't notice, but even with kryptonite, he's still pretty strong. He's stronger than most humans. He's just weaker than he is before. But he's still strong. That's kind of like what a dollar is. When you have inflation, inflation is like kryptonite. It starts to weaken your purchasing power, which means that it might be $1 to purchase an item today, and it might cost you $1.25 to purchase that item tomorrow. And that's what happens. You're using more of your money to purchase the same item that you would have purchased yesterday. it's going to keep on siphoning away that money, that purchasing power, and you're going to lose the value in being able to say, it cost me less dollars to purchase an item, which is why things were much cheaper back in the day. So if you have any financial moves that you make, not financial advice, but you made some financial moves, or you've got ways or tips that can help people and things that you're actively doing in life, not everybody's a guru advice. I'm talking about people who are actually doing it. Leave a comment below and help out. Let's create some financial tips on things that you found to help benefit the larger community at Ancestry Lands. I'm your host, Philip Davis. I hope you've been educated, enlightened, and somewhat entertained. You all have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Are you confused with today's real estate market? With high interest rates and overpriced housing, it can be hard to find something to own at the right price. Available on Amazon, Getting Dollars from Dirt by author Philip H. Davis is a game-changing book that invites you to embark on a thrilling exploration of this often overlooked asset class. This book is your roadmap to unlocking the secrets of vacant land investment. Inside these pages, you will uncover the transformative power of vacant land as a wealth-building tool. Discover how to spot promising properties, assess their true value, and capitalize on market trends. From understanding zoning and permits to leveraging financing strategies, you'll gain the knowledge and confidence to make savvy investment decisions. With each page you turn, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the profound impact your investments can have on the world around you. Getting Dollars from Dirt is not just a guidebook, it's a call to action. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a curious novice, this book will empower you to tap into the immense potential of vacant land and embark on a journey toward financial freedom and a brighter future.